It's time for Tread on Sports. 60 minutes of highlights from recent Lobo games, plus coaches' comments and player reactions. If there's time, we'll touch on local high school events and even have some...
Welcome back to Tread on Sports. We'd like to tell you about the University of New Mexico Lobos ladies basketball game against Eastern Illinois, but it was canceled. So we're going to go back and we can talk about the game against UTEP. Started off with Charisse Bignon getting the scoring started. She had a game-high 24. She drives the lane, puts the floater up over the defender. And a little bit later in the quarter, she was able to get 2 more on an easy layup after working hard on defense. While she did have the game high, it was Rochelle Vanderkilge who was the big winner for the Lobos, not just in the game, but also in the week. After the game, she was named the Mountain West Conference Player of the Week for her first time in her career. Over the week, she averaged 17 points, 10.5 rebounds, and 3 blocks. In this game, she had 18 points and 12 rebounds, which gave her the 3rd double-double of the year. As you can see, she was able to get to her spots in the lane and hit tough shots over the defender, and was even able to get some rebounds and put those back up. And had great defense on the pick and roll, not fouling and not fouling the defender. Lobos go on to win 79-66. After the game, we asked Coach about his players and what he thought of the game.
I think for 2.5 quarters, we were really good on both ends, offense and defense. I think last quarter and a half we lost our discipline a little bit, you know, hopefully we can get that fixed this week in practice. I tell you, you know, UTEP's a little short-handed right now, and they are very, very well coached. And I thought for the second half they really whipped us. Seda was outstanding all night long. You know, so her and Rochelle pretty much just canceled each other out. You know, I think for 2.5 quarters it was pretty good. He got a couple easy baskets early. Rochelle scored early, and then they kind of got down in there, and then Reese hit a 3, Alex hit a 3 early, you know, and I think that really helped.
After that response, we wanted Coach to focus in a little bit more on the play of his particular players, especially Charisse Bignon, who was the game-high scorer.
Charisse? Yeah, for 2.5 quarters, I thought she was great. Did everything with it we always wanted to do. Jace is really good offensively. We got to keep her coming along on defense, you know, and if she can defend better, she'll play more.
Then we asked Coach what happened on those late threes, and how was UTEP almost able to get back into the game?
Well, no, we weren't letting them. They were getting them, and they made them. I think they started 2 for 2, and then at one point they were 2 for 16, I think. So they missed 14 in a row, and that was the plan, was to keep it out of 12's hand in the middle of the floor and make sure everything was contested with Taylor, and I thought we did a good job on her, but they did get loose on us there late.
Throughout this conference, we heard Coach talk about how the Lobos played well for 2.5 quarters, how Charisse played well for 2.5 quarters. We did this well for 2.5 quarters. So we asked Coach, what happened after those 2.5 quarters? Was it an adjustment you made, or was it an adjustment UTEP made?
I don't know. You know, sometimes, one, I think they kind of amped it up a little bit, UTEP. Second, you know, I think we were up 26 and lost a little edge maybe, you know, and really good teams won't do that. You know, they just kind of keep the hammer down, and I was hoping that's what we would do, and we did that, you know, against New Mexico State. You know, it was a very similar situation, but today we didn't.
Even though Coach was disappointed with the way his team played late, one thing that was constant throughout the game was the way UNM inbounded the ball underneath their own basket.
Yeah.
And they were able to get an easy play and get an easy bucket off a play that the coach was able to draw up. We asked him if that was a product of them working on it, practicing extra, or just something that they saw that they were able to exploit against UTEP.
Yeah, you know, we work at that a lot. You know, we kind of call it special teams, you know, football term, but you know, we try to win that battle, you know, most games, and most games we do. Yeah, we executed those really well. The last one we kind of botched up when we turned it over.
Next on Tread in Sports, we're going to take a look at the Lobos game last week against UTEP in the final 30 seconds of that game, and then look at their full game against Arkansas Bine Bluff just this weekend.